Well, hello everybody and welcome back to part 4 of this Millefeuille City speed build that I'm doing over on my TikTok. And at the end of the last part, we were devastated by a big natural disaster, so we were recovering from that, but now we're back to normal and just building out the city, extending the grid. We've had to go kind of off-grid a little bit because the university and some of the other buildings were getting in the way, but you know, we're just chucking in some parks to make that more natural, adding lots of bike lanes, footpaths. Reaching big city, which is excellent. Didn't expect to do that so quick, and that's great. And now, because I want to develop the coast some more, we're going to have to get rid of all this pollution. So we're going to come up with a more elegant sewage treatment solution. And I do this a lot in my cities, this kind of, I don't really know how to describe it, kind of marina sewage treatment area. It's great if you don't have the inland water treatment plants that come in Sunset Harbour, which I don't. So we're going to chuck those in. This will keep us going for a long time. And you know, it's still not perfect, but it's much better, and you can see that sewage clearing up already. So now we're going to try and detail this area and make it a little bit more realistic, rather than just having kind of a random thing plonked down there. We're going to just add a few details. I'm not the best at detailing this game, particularly not in vanilla, but we'll give it a go, try and make it look a little bit nicer so it fits into the city a bit better. So I'm just using this toll booth as a kind of an entrance gate, but hopefully that will also discourage traffic from going this way if they don't need to, which is great. Add some of these in to store water, mainly just for the aesthetic, and there you go, that's great. So now we've got a big industrial area demand, so we're going to add in a new industrial area here, and then we need to keep up with a lot of the services. So we don't have enough healthcare in these areas, we don't have enough police. You can still see we're short of jail cells there, so we're going to keep adding those in, add lots more schools in, elementary schools, high schools. And as you see me dropping these things down, you can see the little green arrows around the city of the buildings upgrading, so you can tell we were crying out for it. So that's really good, and it's going to be great for the benefit of the city. And the other things we've not been extending as we've been growing is our public transit network. So I'm just going to extend this bus line down a few more blocks so that people can reach kind of the university we placed down, and then we want to build a line that's going to complement the tram line so that people can get around that way as well. And this is also going to go up into the new industry area so that the people who live down here can get to work nice and easy without having to drive. And just like that, that should keep the city going for a little while, so I'm happy with that. And the next thing we need to do is give the city a bit of a sense of place. So just like in real life, your citizens love it when there's kind of unique things to your city, things that make your city your city. So in the game you do that by adding unique buildings. So we're doing that around here. We're adding kind of the city arch, some of the parks. And, you know, these things, they're going to attract tourists, they're going to attract your citizens into the area, so you might as well make the most of it. So here I'm going to add a lot of commercial and offices around this area, which will not only benefit the citizens, but it will also kind of buffer the sewage area here. And in the spirit of kind of giving the city a bit of an identity and making it, you know, something for the residents to be proud of, we're going to add in a sports team. So add in the soccer stadium in here, which I think this is a good use for this space. We're not necessarily going to develop much housing around here because it's right by the sewage area. So I think this is a great use for the space. We've got a nice footpath there leading up to the tram stop so that people can get to the game from around the city without driving, and I think that'll be really nice, and you know, the city's citizens are going to love it.
Sorry for the interruption.
But rather than just having a path, why don't we kind of use this as an opportunity to develop this shorefront? So we're going to create a little park area, and we'll get to extending that and developing that in the future. But for now, we're going to build a little kind of just a small residential block along the front here. I think these would be the kind of more expensive houses in the city. They're going to be some of the only low density houses in the city eventually. We've still got low density housing around the city elsewhere, but we'll add some in there for now, and we'll see how that develops. And then we're going to make this into a park. So rather than just having this as an area which is only beneficial on match days, we're going to develop this area so that every day, whether there's a match on or not, the citizens can benefit from it. So we're just going to kind of build a few paths through here, add some park amenities. This would be great on match days for people before and after the game, but again, you know, the residents will love it, and it's really going to boost the land value in this area as well, which is ideal because the sewage treatment plant is going to knock the land value down. And now we're moving away from that area, and we're kind of onto the last bit of land that we have in the city to develop. And we're going to do something a bit different. Rather than just gridding straight down, we're going to kind of develop around some of the natural features like the rocks there that we have, and make them kind of a feature of this area. So I think this is going to be really good. For now, we're just going to kind of fill it in, build a bit of a leisure district along the waterfront there. Again, lots of bike paths and footpaths so people can get around. Add some crossings in, and I think that's great, and I'll see you next time to see how this area turns out.